Namaskar, Jai Shri Krishna. Manifesting text 1, text 2 and text 3 of chapter 12, Birth of Emperor Pariksit of first canto creation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 1, Shaunaka Uvacha, Ashwatham Nopasrushtena Brahma Shira Shano Ru Tejasa Uttaraya Hato Garbha Ishena Jivitaha Punaha. The sage Shaunak said, the womb of Uttara, mother of Maharaj Pariksit, was spoiled by the dreadful and invincible Brahmastra weapon released by Ashwathama. But Maharaj Pariksit was saved by the Supreme Lord. The sages assembled in the forest of Naimisharanya inquired from Suta Goswami about the birth of Maharaj Pariksit. But in the course of the narration, other topics like the release of Brahmastra by the son of Drona, his punishment by Arjun, Queen Kunti Devi's prayers, the Pandavas' visit to the place where Bhishma Dev was lying, his prayers and thereafter the Lord's departure for Dwarka were discussed. His arrival at Dwarka and residing with the 16,000 queens etc. were narrated. The sages were absorbed in hearing such descriptions, but now they wanted to turn to the original point, and thus the inquiry was made by Shaunak Rishi. So the subject of the release of the Brahmastra weapon by Ashwathama is renewed. Text 2. Tasya janma mahabuddheha karmani cha mahatmanaha nidhanam cha yathaiva sitasa Pritya Gatavan Yatha. How was the great Emperor Pariksit, who was a highly intelligent and great devotee, born in that womb? How did his death take place? And what did he achieve after his death? The king of Hastinapur, now Delhi, used to be the emperor of the world, at least till the time of the son of Maharaj Pariksit. Maharaj Pariksit was saved by the Lord in the womb of his mother, so he could certainly be saved from an untimely death due to the ill will of the son of a Brahmana. Because the age of Kali began to act just after the assumption of power by Maharaj Pariksit, the first sign of misgivings were exhibited in the cursing of such a greatly intelligent and devoted king as Maharaj Pariksit. The king is the protector of the helpless citizens, and their welfare, peace and prosperity depend on him. Unfortunately, by the instigation of the fallen age of Kali, an unfortunate Brahman son was employed to condemn the innocent Maharaj Pariksit, and so the king had to prepare himself for death within 7 days. Maharaj Pariksit is especially famous as one who is protected by Vishnu, and when he was unduly cursed by a Brahman son, he could have invoked the mercy of the Lord to save him, but he did not want to because he was a pure devotee. A pure devotee never asks the Lord for any undue favor. Maharaj Pariksit knew that the curse of the Brahman son upon him was unjustified, as everyone else knew, but he did not want to counteract it because he knew also that the age of Kali had begun and that the first symptom of the age, namely degradation of the highly talented Brahman community, had also begun. He did not want to interfere with the current of the time, but he prepared himself to meet death very cheerfully and very properly. Being fortunate, he got at least 7 days to prepare himself to meet death, and so he properly utilized the time in the association of Shukdev Goswami, the great saint and devotee of the Lord. Text 3. Tadidam shrotu michhamo gatitum yadi manayase bruhinah shraddhanam Yasya Jnanam Dacha Chukah. We all respectfully want to hear about him, Maharaj Pariksit, to whom Shukdev Goswami imparted transcendental knowledge. Please speak on this matter. Shukdev Goswami imparted transcendental knowledge to Maharaj Pariksit during the remaining 7 days of his life, and Maharaj Pariksit heard him properly just like an ardent student. The effect of such a bona fide hearing and chanting of Srimad Bhagavatam was equally shared by both the hearer and the chanter. Both of them were benefited. Out of the 9 different transcendental means of devotional service to the Lord prescribed in the Bhagavatam, either all of them or even some of them or even one of them are equally beneficial if properly discharged. Shukdev Goswami and Maharaj Pariksit were serious performers of the first 2 important items, namely the process of chanting and the process of hearing, and therefore both of them were successful in their laudable attempt. Transcendental realization is attained by such serious hearing and chanting and not otherwise. There is a type of spiritual master and disciple much advertised in this age of Kali. It is said that the master injects spiritual force into the disciple by an electrical current, generally by the master, and the disciple begins to feel the shock. He becomes unconscious and the master weeps for his exhausting his store of so-called spiritual assets. Such bogus advertisement is going on in this age, and the poor common man is becoming a victim of such advertisement. We do not find such folk tales in the dealings of Shukdev Goswami and his great disciple Maharaj Pariksit. The sage recited Srimad Bhagavatam in devotion and the great king heard him properly. The king did not feel any shock of electrical current from the master, nor did he become unconscious while receiving knowledge from the master. One should not therefore become a victim of these unauthorized advertisements made by some bogus representative of Vedic knowledge. The sages of Naimisharanya were very respectful in hearing about Maharaj Pariksit because of his receiving knowledge from Shukdev Goswami by means of adherent hearing. By ardent hearing, from the bona fide master is the only way to receive transcendental knowledge, and there is no need of medical performances or occult mysticism for miraculous effects. The process is simple, but only the sincere party can achieve the desired result. Thank you.